Hello fellow artists! Me, froopyart, and Happy Gamer Nick have collaborated to bring you guys this video and two others. More information about that at the end of the video, so make sure to stick around to the end. Anyway, for this video, each of us got to choose two mythical creatures to turn into Pokemon. Let's see what mythical creatures the others chose, and what kind of designs they managed to come up with.
Alright, so, for your prompt, I was thinking about different mythological creatures, and there is an Egyptian god named Set, and he looks real weird. He looks like this. He's got a real funky little head, and there's just like a lot of confusion about like what animal he's actually based on. So like they call it the Set creature because it's just it's a mystery, and I wanted to do a design that was based on this weird looking animal. I've always found the Set animal fascinating. To have such a prominent Egyptian god represented by an animal that people like still aren't completely sure what it is. After doing some research, some people think that it might be like a Saluki. It's like an ancient Egyptian dog breed, since they are long and lanky and their tails stick straight up when they run, and they often had their ears docked. But also, like, I don't know, plenty of people think that it could be anything from like an anteater to a boar, like a bunch of options. So I decided to leave it bizarre and undefined. Since I was initially interested in the animal inspiration, I thought about having it be quadrupedal, but then realized that there was too much of an in just having it be a counterpart to Lucario, who already has Egyptian influences. I don't know, it could even be like a rare split evolution from Riolu. As far as typing, it gets to be dark and fighting, which comes from the lore behind Set. He was initially just a villain, like a real baddie, but over time, and I will skip the complexities and changes in Egyptian religion, but he ended up being kind of a good guy, kind of. Like he protected the sun every day. It's weird, it's complicated. Alright, let's see what the others think though.
Ooh.
So this is Chaos Set, the anti-hero Pokemon. Stories of this desert-dwelling rogue vary, depicting it either as a malicious villain or unseen hero. In actuality, Chaos Set itself wavers between the two extremes, but often lands on the more benevolent side once they have bonded with a trainer. Unfortunately, all bets are off if they ever encounter a Lucario, as the two species have a bitter rivalry.
Oh my, this thing's awesome. Like your choice for like a mythical creature, it's so unique. I would have never expected something like that. But you captured it really well, especially in the head shape. I think that it's very like obviously inspired by this mythical creature. What was it called again? Something like Tet?
Set. S-E-T or S-E-T-H sometimes, but yeah, it's got a messed up face to begin with, so it made for a easily recognizable look.
And I love how the shiny colors reference Lucario, because you said they have a rivalry. I think that's really neat.
Yeah, what I love from this guy is like the tiny thing next to his eye that makes him look so Egyptian, and the tail is perfect as well. It really makes him look like an anti-hero. It's just freaking amazing.
Yeah, he's pretty fun. He's pretty cool. Alright, so for the second prompt, the Aztec... Oh my gosh, I can never pronounce it. Tzitzimitl. They're weird. They're like skeleton ladies who like come down from the stars and they like make people not alive anymore. The toughest part of this design was just making sure that I didn't do a literal skeleton woman. In fact, I really pushed myself to get as far away from that while still capturing that ethereal and terrifying concept. Just going off of the ancient depictions and the lore, there are a few things that I wanted to work in. First off, the connection to the stars. I mean, I couldn't get that like star pattern that's on Lunala's face out of my head and wanted to work that in. Next up, it's not a naked skeleton, all right? They always have skirts, so working in some flowing fabric was important. And lastly, they definitely have eyeballs all over their bodies, like knees and hands and everywhere, which made me immediately think of the Pale Man from Pan's Labyrinth. Actually, I don't know, I wonder if like Guillermo del Toro was inspired by Tzitzimitl somehow. Anyway, it all came together better than I thought it could. I mean, we've got the shimmering fabric and floating shards to reference stars. The flowing cloth and the hood-like hair give it a slightly feminine appearance with, like, a very unsettling face. And then the arms both hint at the skeletal reference without being actual bones and give it a dope placement for the eyes. All right, let's see what they think. Here is Tzitzimitl, the celestial Pokemon. These elusive spirits have been observed descending from the night sky on rare occasions. The shimmering body of a Tzitzimitl has difficulty processing bright light, and they flee before dawn. Hordes of Tzitzimitl have been reported turning antagonistic during solar eclipses.
Oh my goodness, this thing looks absolutely insane. I really love how you drew this, and the silhouette. I really like the silhouette and the shape design you use. It's actually really cool. And also, how do you come up with the name was it Voices? Oh, it's so hard.
So he's or she. I guess it would be. It's a little lady. It's based on a Tzitzimitl. So the tzitz is that part, and then void because it's like the emptiness of space is where it comes from.
That's a creative way of using it.
That's a good name for real. And like the way you captured the void, the night sky into the design, especially the inner parts being darker as well. I feel like I could have not done that in a better way. It's literally perfect.
Yeah, it's fun. And and I had to go like blood red with the shiny just because the lore is actually pretty dark. Like them again, like they're like starting fires in the rib cages of their fallen enemies and dark stuff like that. So we needed like a blood red shiny.
Typical Drifloon lore.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Man, I love this description. Mythical Pokemon are such an interesting concept. There are almost infinite possibilities for these Pokemon, but I decided to make one based off a Leprechaun. The sketching of this dude went by pretty quickly. I will say that it was quite difficult to not make him look too humanoid. I don't really know if I succeeded enough on that point, but I do think I've nailed the colors. Green, orange, and a pure red-like color for his body. I can't wait to show you the end result, so here we go.
Oh my, what a little gentleman.
Leprechaun, the luck Pokemon. Leprechaun, while almost never seen, is a central character of numerous fairy tales. It is said that whoever manages to find Leprechaun will have infinite amounts of gold and luck. He also has the unique ability Pull Out Gold. This ability triples the prize money and makes Leprechaun land crits more often.
Oh my, this Pokemon reminds me of, who is it? Meowth, because I think Meowth has an ability that like can make coins or make gold or something like that.
Yeah, payday. Yeah,
definitely this guy would have that, right? I'm sure rich people would love having this Pokemon around.
Yeah, I would love to have it on my team. Amulet Coin is one of my favorite items in the game, and now that you can have a Pokemon, and I don't think Amulet Coin would stack with this guy, so you can't get 5 times the gold. But I feel like it would be cool to implement it into a Pokemon instead of an item.
I gotta say, I love the ears in particular. Just having that fairy elfish look. And I'm glad I saw when you were drawing that like it looked like you might do a top hat, and I'm glad you didn't, and you went with this more subtle kind of cap on the head instead. It's great.
Thank you. I was doubting to put like a top hat onto him, but it didn't feel Pokemon-like. And I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't able to capture the head properly. So he's just gonna have this little cap.
It's cool, that's cool.
Alright, on to the next one. From the moment I saw this description, I knew I wanted to make one cute and one cool Pokemon. It didn't take me long to get a good concept for this one. I got highly inspired by the Big Bad Wolf from the last Puss in Boots movie. I wasn't really sure which typing I wanted to give him, but I eventually settled on a pure dark type. This made me go for a regular wolf kind of look. Even though we had an amazing source of reference, I actually think we've made him into a real looking Pokemon. Well, time to meet him.
Ooh.
Can he die? The Reaper Pokemon. There have been little sightings of this Pokemon. It is said to appear before people at their last moments of life. He has the ability Soul Stealer, which sharply boosts his attack whenever he takes down his opponent with a super effective move.
Oh my, this thing is sick. Could you imagine fighting someone with your Pokemon and they pull out death itself as a Pokemon? That would be absolutely insane.
I would not want to fight that trainer.
The use of color, just like the little pop of red on the face is like so effective. And in the shiny where it's blue instead. Ooh, and he's black. Ooh, that's a good shiny right there. That's great.
Yeah, black shinies are always top tier.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, should we move on to my one for this, I think?
Yes.
Okay, so the first mythical creature I chose to turn to a Pokemon is a Chimera. Now, for those of you who don't know what a Chimera is, it's a creature from Greek mythology, and are usually described as a monstrous, fire-breathing hybrid creature which is composed of different animal parts. They're usually depicted as a lion with the head of a goat protruding from its back and a tail that might end in a snake's head. So basically what a Chimera is it's a combination of a lion, a goat, and a snake. Now, initially, I wanted to capture this Pokemon by making one with 3 heads, one of a goat, one of a lion, and one of kind of a snake or maybe a dragon. But I didn't think that would have been as cute and Pokemon-like as I wanted it to be, so I ended up actually going with a different idea, basically drawing a lion cub-like Pokemon and incorporating the horns of a goat and a tail made of a snake. Chimera, the combination Pokemon, type fire and grass. It is said that this Pokemon first came into existence from an experiment in which a scientist combined 3 Pokemon into one. This may be why Chimera's tail can think independently of its head.
Oh, he's so cute. He's so stinking cute. Oh, man. The proportions are just so great. The little feet, the big old head, the big old eyes. He's adorable. That's great. I know he's supposed to be scary, but he's just so cute.
Yeah, if you look at an actual Chimera, it's the most horrifying thing you'll ever see. I really wanted to turn that into like a really cute kind of Pokemon. I think I did a good job.
Yeah.
I feel like that's more Pokemon-like as well, right? Each Pokemon might be... there might be Pokemon that are scary, but still have a certain they can be my friend feeling. And I feel like you've captured that feeling perfectly, which really sells it as a Pokemon. And I really love the way you drew his eyes. They're beautiful.
Thank you.
I also love the typing. Just like thematically for a Chimera who's like a combination of animals that shouldn't really fit together. So like having it be fire and grass also works really well to have those opposing types. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. We move on to my next Pokemon. The next mythical creature I chose to turn into a Pokemon is the Phoenix. Now, for those of you who don't know what a Phoenix is, the Phoenix is an immortal bird from Greek mythology. It's associated with the sun and is known to obtain new life by rising from the ashes of its predecessors. So basically, it's an immortal bird made of fire, which I think was kind of easy to capture as a Pokemon. What I ended up doing was making a bird-like shaped Pokemon and basically making it made of fire. Yeah, a very simple design, but I think it ended up turning out pretty cool. Okay, so here is my Phoenix-inspired Pokemon. Empress, the Undying Pokemon. Type Fire. When this Pokemon is defeated in battle, it regenerates itself almost instantaneously. For this reason, it has been banned from most tournaments.
Oh my god, that's freaking insane. The way you rendered that piece is beautiful. And the lore, that's really funny.
Yeah, because I thought Phoenixes are known for like not being able to die. They regenerate themselves or like are reborn. And I thought if I incorporated that into a Pokemon in like the lore, it would not be okay to use that in a tournament. That is so cheating.
So I gotta say, we kind of have like a Phoenix Pokemon. Like Moltres is like a fire bird, type of thing. But this is like so much better. This is so much better than Moltres. I gotta say the rendering. Again, I gotta agree with you. The rendering is fantastic. Like changing the black lines to red and giving it that little bit of glow. Like you can feel the heat coming off this thing. It's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
And the shiny, like the fact that it's blue flames now, it does feel like a bit like Articuno as well now, which I adore. Both of these renders are beautiful.
Awesome, thank you. In conclusion, I think we all made some pretty awesome designs for this prompt. It's really interesting how we all chose really like different mythical beasts to turn into Pokemon. Before this video, I would have no idea what that Mesoamerican thing you chose was, Froopy.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't either before this.
And turning death itself into a Pokemon is also an incredibly awesome idea. So I think that's really cool.
We got a good batch of myths from all over the world. Good job, us. Good job,
We have
us.
diversity in our mythical Pokemon.
Yeah, at first, like the moment you sent the prompt mythical, I felt like, wow, that's short. But the prompt is actually so powerful and you can do so many things with it. That made it so interesting. The fact that I made a Leprechaun and a literal Grim Reaper Pokemon together, that's really cool to me.
Yeah. Now, before this video ends, I want to mention that True Green's drawing Pokemon from the same description series was a big inspiration behind this video, so you should definitely check that out. And also for this collaboration, me, Froopy, and Nick each made our own separate videos, so if you want to see all of the Pokemon we designed for this collab, go check them out. I think altogether we designed about 18 Pokemon in total, so be a shame not to see them all. If you're interested, the links are in the description. And yeah, that's the end of the video.